was good to, because the time we shoot, like I didn't even feel like I have to like pose like that, like super fancy and like super like fashion pose or whatever. It's just like, you know, like just do whatever you want, like, you know, you don't have to be like pretending and like blah blah blah. Just be natural and like, yeah.
Yeah, that was the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not to pretend.
Not to pretend. Yeah.
Not to pretend to.
Yeah, like twice a day even, like to go to casting or every day, and then like 90% I wouldn't be chosen anyway because they like the white skins.
It's all about the white skin.
Yeah.
You know what? For the Western audience, this is kind of new. Like, okay, boom question. Do you think that in the photographs that you usually take for work, that they take of you is really you or not?
No.
Okay.
Some. Yours? Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, yours?
Thank
yes,
you.
definitely. Your pictures are raw and you know what? When I first saw them, I was kind of like, I was taken a bit of, but then I was like, no, this is what I look like. This is the picture.
Okay. So it was a little bit shocking in the beginning.
Yeah, I remember when you asked me to do it, I was like, okay, well, and you were saying, okay, there's going to be no retouching and very little makeup and hair and whatever, and it's going to be you laying on the ground and like water thrown all over you. And I remember saying, okay, but I have to see which pictures you choose first.
Yes.
And I saw them, and it took me a minute, but then I fell in love with them because that's the real me. That's what I look like. But of course, and I feel that like, especially in specific markets, they definitely warp you to look like something that's totally not you.
I actually enjoy casting. That's why the book is called Casting. And I like casting. I just find that there are lots of standards and lots of people that work in the industry that don't know anything about what real beauty looks like. They base their judgment over the Photoshop of the comp cards, and they pretty much they want to, you know, sell a face to the clients, which also don't understand anything. It's their job, but I mean, there's a lot of responsibility involved, you know. So there are kids that grow up seeing magazines, now there is Instagram, of course, looking at faces. So you have a responsibility in terms, they will always believe that that thing is beautiful because you say so.
Yes.
So you have an immense responsibility. It's not only a job, it's a little bit more than that. So what I wanted to do, and I think many people now are trying to do the same, is like elevate the job a little bit.
I'm not sure where to begin with, but basically it's a very objectifying profession, and you have to know it if you're getting it. Secondly, say if you ever get to see the remarks of the casting director team that, you know, they're writing about the models they've seen as like too big, too tall, too short, too blonde, too whatever, she's too ugly, she's too pretty, she's too commercial, she has this look like next door girl, we need someone who stands out more, she stands out too much, we need somebody who's like relatable, you know, girl next door. And it's always like that. Can I insert something? Sometimes, especially if you're out of your native region, let's put it like that, people at the casting would be like, okay, so which one of you, Catherine, Anna, and whoever the third one is, because to some of the clients, the concards that they got look pretty much almost the same, or they cannot tell which of the models is who. And I've seen that as a model zillions of times.
So let's say that when you are a model, you've been selected like cattle. Like basically they don't know you, they don't know your name, they just say, hey you, come. Like
so that's the more or less the reason why you're shooting what you're shooting. You're interested more in the first layer of the persona who's behind all those fashion representations, right? If somebody who stands behind it but who's still like in front of the camera. So why here, why in the car? Because you work in Italy, you work in China, you work pretty much worldwide.
Yes, in Asia, pretty much everywhere. And well, because here in Bangkok, I tried to shoot this somewhere else. I couldn't. So that's why I come back. I was working in Singapore, and then I actually resigned from the studio where I was working with, and then I came back here to finish this book, because here there are people that I never saw in my life, and it's curious because I shot many models for this book, but when we narrow down those 70 shots, are all people like you that live here for a very long time, just by coincidence. But maybe it's not a coincidence, because our people who stay here a long time, they have that kind of attitude, that kind of freedom, let's say, they have fun, and the others, like the ones that come, stay 2 months and then go, we shot the photos, are nice photos, but they were not selected at all. So those photos are true Bangkok residents.
Non-commercial ones.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, we have actresses and dancers, and mostly models of different kind, but are all people from different nationalities. I don't know how many nationalities we have in the book, but I think
That's
many.
interesting.